Good morning, everyone. I am Vishnu Jagtap, and in front of all of you, I am presenting the Mint newspaper headline. So, first of all, why bankruptcy regime in India needs fine tuning. Next, enable boosters. Next, on page number 4, in that 2023 preview, state polls women's IPL. On page number 5, in that reforms set stage for steady 6.5 to 7% growth. Next, 25,000 in line for Flipkart rupees dollar 700 million e-soup cash bonza. Next, banks need to boost credit policies to limit risk RBI. Next, India to seek IPR waiver for green energy technology at G20. Next, fintech consumer firm lead deals landscape despite funding slum. Next, cheap inventories swell has consumer appetite for gadget weekends. Next, COVID nasal vax to be available for rupees 325 per dose at government hospitals, on private 800 rupees. On page number 7, in that PFRDA says to bring gig workers into UK like pension scheme. Next, court allows coacher couple to use special beds in CBI custody. Next, Indowind to sell 35.8 million shares worth rupees 43 crore under right issue. Next, digital ads spending to see rapid rise post at muted growth. Next, rupee worth likely over poised to gain next year. HDFC Bank's Panda. Next, Financial Minister's Sitaraman recovery on track may get discharged today. Next, panel purposes Manrega tweaks. Next, India to seek IPR waiver for green energy tech at G20. Next, total government debt rises to rupees 147 trillion in September quarter. Next, government starts truck in inspection drive. Next, mock drills held in hospital across country to check COVID readiness. Next, on page number 8, in that Geo standalone 5G network to be compatible with Xiaomi 5G phones. Next, IIT Roorkee aims Delhi develops apps for to be moms. Next, Chinese chips highly vulnerable, draw out data and send to China. Next, flexibility in gig workers, jobs hard to come by. Fair Work India report. Next, uh, fintech consumer cause lead funding activity. Next, decoding the mysteries of Gen Z threats. Next, gaming firms hell task force proposals. Next, IT services firms expect resilient quarter 3, say analysts. Next, most of our startups achieved their goals despite downturn. Next, on page number 9, in that credit market rebound leaves Korea's weaker firm lagging. Next, Japan's retail sales fall in November as demand cools amid inflation. Next, deposit rate hikes to spoil party for banks. Next, Hindalco Industry stocks is still far from regaining strength. Next, Flipkart plan one-time payout. Next, banks need robust policies. Next, share of buyback via exchange up in 2022. Next, direct retail flows into stock market plunge 64% in FY23. Then on page number 10, in that India is still demand a savior for the sector. Next, lenders go digital for bigger slice of small business loans. Next, parlay products to expand premium products range. Next, COVID external shocks eclipsed reform impact. India will grow 6.5 to 7% here on. Next, on page number 11, in that spectacular return of public sector banks. Next, why credit and deposit rates show different trends. Next, what will the banking architecture look like going forward? Next, on page number 12, in that generation next in the saddle to tread fresh ground, keep family businesses going. Next, the masters of execution and their mega bets. Next, the great resignation is over. Here's come cautious and stability. Then on page number 13, in that Tesla to run reduced output in Shanghai in January, plan shows. Next, US goods trade deficit narrows to smallest in nearly 2 years. Next, South Africa passes 200 days of power cuts, has 2022 draws to a close. Next, Iran's rise vows no mercy for hostile protest movement. Next, China reopens borders as it removes last COVID zero curves. Next on page number 14, in that fire kills 4 workers of Lotus Labs. Next, airbag industry to grow to rupees 7,000 crore. Next, GST rule to claim tax credit tweaked. Next, COVID nasal vax to be available for rupees 325 per dose at government hospital. Next, rupees 2 billion initiative for green hydrogen. Next, probe into deaths of Russian travelers. Next, Sensex Nifty rise for second days. Next, India Australia FTA to aid apparel exports. Next, MATI to be nodal ministry for gaming. Next, housing sales at record high in 2022. Then next on page number 16, in that Kalpesh assures decade long journey as financial planner. Next, compare your bank FD rates. Next, how can a non-resident get to inherit property in the country? Next, how are child YouTubers taxed on their income and who pays their tax? Then on page number 17, in that electric two-wheelers need to be horses. Next, banks have struggled to recover return of loans for 2 decades. Next, our digital regulation approach can guide the world. Then on page number 18, in that the board mission of economic must not get lost in daily routines. Next, Ben and Jerry's tested Unilever altruism versus profit balance. Next, a fiscal retreat could be a useful way to fight inflation. On page number 20, in that how Indian athlete broke new ground in 2022. Next, Indian athletes continued their momentum from last year and soared even higher in 2022. Next, IPL auction, big price tags and even bigger gambles. That's much for today. Thanks for watching. Make a good day.